Breaking news at this hour, very, very sad news, and former freedom fighter and, Archbishop Desmond Tutu has passed away. Now, this news has been confirmed a short while ago, and we do have a presidency statement, and President Ramaphosa says the passing of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu is another chapter of bereavement in our nation's farewell to a generation of outstanding South Africans who have bequeathed us a liberated South Africa. Desmond Tutu, President continues to say, was a patriot without equal, a leader of principle and pragmatism who gave meaning to the biblical insight that faith without works is dead. A man of extraordinary intellect, integrity and invincibility against the forces of apartheid. He was also tender and vulnerable in his compassion for those who had suffered oppression, injustice and violence under apartheid and oppressed and downtrodden people around the world. Well, that's the statement from the presidency. It reads in part. And we're now joined by the Minister in the Presidency, Mondli Nkungubele, to give us an update on this. Minister, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your viewership, and thanks for the opportunity.
First of all, Minister, can you confirm the news of the passing of Archbishop Desmond Tutu?
Indeed, that is a painful truth. The President would want to express condolences first to his family, Namlia, the children, the entire religious sector, the entire community of South Africa, indeed the world and the entire movement in pursuit of humanity. Because one of the faces of that humanity struggle and pursuit has just left us. The departure of the last Nobel Peace Laureate, who stood for years unrelentingly, complicated the life of the racial supremacy, and the entire nation is indebted to him. He's one of the key stalwarts who has been in the forefront, charting the path to the birth certificate of our nation, our constitution. Indeed, will always be indebted to his struggle. He will leave the country with fond memories, and the pain of his loss is going to hit us hard, especially against the background of what it means to our country. That's what the President would have wanted to communicate to the nation.
And of course, the pain of the passing will hit the family very hard. Has the Presidency perhaps had an opportunity to communicate with the family?
We have been in touch with the family throughout until the issue of the statement. And so that communication is there. Okay.
Minister, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for that update. And I'm sure that we'll be chatting to you as, days leading to his funeral, will be. But do we know of any arrangements at this particular point?
The family will guide us as we'll be staying in touch with them on the details.
Okay. Minister, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for that.
Whenever that information comes, I'm sure it will be released.
Yes, and we'll be relying on you, Minister, to give us those details. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was the Minister in the Presidency, Mondli Nkungubele, confirming the news of the passing of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. And I just want to continue reading the statement from the Presidency with regards to the legacy that was earmarked by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Well, President Ramaphosa said that a man of extraordinary intellect, invincibility and integrity against the forces of apartheid, he was also tender and vulnerable in his compassion for those who had suffered oppression, injustice and violence under apartheid and oppressed and downtrodden people around the world. As the chairperson of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, he articulated the universal outrage and profoundly demonstrated the depth of meaning of Ubuntu, reconciliation and forgiveness. He placed his extensive academic achievements at the service of our struggle and at the service of the cause for social and economic justice the world over. From the pavements of resistance in South Africa to the pulpits of the world's great cathedrals and places of of worship and the prestigious setting of the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, the Arch distinguished himself as a non-sectarian, inclusive champion of universal human rights. In his richly inspiring yet challenging life, Desmond Tutu overcame tuberculosis, the brutality of the apartheid security forces, and the intransigence of successive apartheid regimes. And neither Caspers, tear gas, nor security agents could intimidate him or deter him from his steadfast belief in our liberation. That's the presidency statement. And the President Ramaphosa continues to say that he remained true to his convictions during our democratic dispensation and maintained his vigor and vigilance as he held leadership and the burgeoning institutions of our democracy to account in his inimitable, inescapable and always fortifying way. We share this moment of deep loss with Mam Leah Tutu, the Archbishop's soulmate and source of strength and insight, who has made a monumental contribution in her own right to our freedom and to the development of our democracy. We pray that Archbishop Desmond Tutu's soul will rest in peace, but that his spirit will stand sentry over the future of our nation. Well, this statement has been issued by the Minister in the Presidency, Mondli Gungubele. We just spoke to him a short while ago, and he did indeed confirm the news of the passing of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu. Now, Desmond Tutu, of course, has formulated his objective as a democratic and a just society without racial divisions. And he set forward, equal civil rights for all, the abolition of South Africa's past laws, a common system of education, the cessation of forced deportation from South Africa to the so-called homelands. And this is Desmond Tutu. And just, a brief biography of Desmond Tutu. He was born in 1931 in Klerksdorp in the Transvaal. And his father was a teacher, and he himself was educated at Johannesburg Bantu High School. And after leaving school, he trained first as a teacher at Pretoria Bantu Normal College. And in 1954, he graduated from the University of South Africa. And after 3 years as a high school teacher, he began to study theology, being ordained as a priest in 1960. And the years 1962 to 1966 were devoted to further theological study in England, leading up to a Master of Theology. And from 1967 to 1972, he taught theology in South Africa before returning to England for 3 years as the Assistant Director of a Theological Institute in London. And in 1975, he was appointed Dean of St. Mary's Cathedral in Johannesburg and the first black to hold that position. And from 1976 to 1978, he was a Bishop of Lesotho, and in 1978, he became the first black General Secretary of the South African Council of Churches, and he is an honorary doctor of a number of leading universities in the United States, Britain and Germany. And the South African Council of Churches, of course, is a contract organization for the churches of South Africa and functions as a national committee for the World Council of Churches. Desmond Tutu, he has passed away. And he leaves a lasting legacy, not only in religion, but in the freedom fighting initiatives of our country. And he was also part of the freedom fighting and, the abolition of past laws and, of course, the quality education, especially for black people. And I'm just going to go through, his biography from the Desmond and the Leah Tutu Foundation. And in as much as I know that the news has hit the family hard, and we still await the family and, of course, the presidency to give us more details about the funeral arrangements. And just a short while ago, a couple of days ago, we saw a lecture by the Desmond Tutu Foundation. Just reaffirming and reiterating the legacy that will be earmarked in our hearts and in our minds. The breaking news this hour, Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu has passed away, and the presidency has indeed confirmed the news. And we'll give you more updates as we move along and as the days go by leading to his funeral.